You never know where life will take you. One minute you're at home dreaming of far-off lands, and the next you have embarked on a journey in search of new experiences. We call this a life on high rates. This journey begins in Melbourne, Australia, as we travel to China to attend the China Top Show Freestyle aerobatic competition. Travelling with me is Ido Segev. Ido is a world-renowned freestyle aerobatic pilot and a regular to the China Top Show event. Ido will be performing demonstration flights as well as joining me as a judge.
Welcome to China.
Welcome to Shanghai. We've just got off the aeroplane and we're on a bus on our way to the terminal to get our bags. How tired are we? Very. Yeah, it's been a long, long day.
Meeting us to drive us to the event in the host city, Suzhou, was Orel Zohar. Orel is one of the organisers and also the owner of world-renowned model aircraft electronics manufacturer, Dual Sky.
Good morning, everybody. We're here in Suzhou, ready for the CTS first day. Today's a setup day. We're off to breakfast. I'm here with the gang. We're back with our Chinese mate, Martin Brandmuller from Austria. Good to see you again, Martin. We've got Ido Segev and we've got Frank. Frank, where are we going now?
Hello. We're now going to the Frankfield.
All right, we just had breakfast. It was quite good. A bit of Chinese food, and we just about to start our way into the airfield and put our airplane together. So Martin spent yesterday putting the airplane together?
Yeah, I just did the programming and we have to put servos into Ido's plane.
Yeah, so mine is completely brand new.
We need to find a small screwdriver for his spinner because we did not find one yesterday.
See, I always get the small screwdriver.
There's young and old here at the CTS competition. This boy behind me is 11 years old. He was 10 last year and he came second in his category. It was a joy to watch him fly. This year he's flying an extreme flight, MXS electric. We've loaded the cars. Planes are just being thrown in the back of the van here. We've loaded up the van with as many people as we have got. About a 10-minute drive off to the field.
Suzhou is located 100 kilometres northwest of Shanghai. It is a major economic centre and a focal point of trade and commerce. Driving us to the field is our good friend Frank Liu. Frank is the owner of Winners Models, a plane manufacturing business, and also one of the organisers of the event.
We just got to the flying field, about 10 minutes drive from the hotel. Beautiful runway. Yeah, lovely. Let's go.
Our first day at the field was a setup and practice day.
Martin, tell us a bit about your plane setup. What are you running today?
This is the plane from Frank, winner model. The same I flew last year at the CTS. It's got a dual sky motor and speed controller and 12S battery, and servos are Futaba, and on the tail I don't know what it is actually, but they are quite fast and quite good. Yeah.
Radio.
Radio is multiplex, and yeah, that's it.
How does it fly?
It flies very easy, very slow. It's a very easy to fly plane for slow 3D, and it's, yeah, I like it very much, and I'm looking forward to the first flight of today.
Just saw Jase Dussia fly for the first time in real life. Amazing. Calling it now best freestyle aerobatic pilot in the world. It's time for lunch. Joining me is Martin Brandmuller, Orel from Sweden. Frank Liu is out here ordering for us. The great man Ido Segev and Michael, the local, kind of. I'm here with the great man. We've just had lunch.
Yeah.
How did the practice setup day go for you?
Yeah, it was good. I was a bit nervous at first because we literally had to put the airplane or build the airplane at the flying field on the grass. But we managed. Within 2 hours we had it flying, so it was good. Luckily we brought the servos and the motor was the same as last year, so everything went alright.
Everything did go well. Everybody is all ready to go. So tonight Next move is dinner with the whole flying crew.
This is pretty neat. So we're in the Vienna hotel where we're staying, and they designated an area in the lobby for the registration. So the few guys and the wives here all helping to register. So each competitor gets a shirt, lanyard, they get the rules, and they'll be ready for the registration for the competition tomorrow. Pretty common for competitors in China to travel more than 1,000 kilometers to come for an event, and this is no different. So as you can see here, there's plenty of boxes and people putting airplanes together that they either shipped it or they came on the train, the speed train, so they had to build it together, so that's what they're doing here. We finished the dinner, which was beautiful. Now we're waiting for the competitors on the second floor for a briefing. In the briefing they're going to get the order of flight, what sequence flies first in the morning tomorrow, and other questions and answers about the rules.
I don't want to hear excessive noise. You're all a noisy bunch. And none of this shenanigans flying low down, okay? I'm not going to tolerate it. If you misbehave, I will kick you out of the competition and you'll have to go and fly gliders or something, right? Follow the rules. Got it?
How many people can you fit in the back of a BMW? Good morning everybody, it's day one of the CTS competition and we are off to the field. Frank Liu is driving us, of course, and we are sitting in the back of the BMW. Now who have we got with me? Well, we've got Martin from Austria, we've got Michael from Sweden, we have Olle from Sweden, we have Ido Segev from Australia, and of course Frank Liu. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people sitting here in the back of the BMW on the way to the competition. Today is known manoeuvres day.
Not sure if we will get to the flying field in one piece.
What a beautiful morning out here at the field. First day of competition. They're just setting up. It's really early. We're kicking off at 7 o'clock in the morning here. They're expecting the wind to get up. We're talking 20 knot breezes. So they're not going to stop the competition, they've told us. And it's a crosswind as well. It's absolutely beautiful this morning, so we're hoping the wind stays down enough. First off in the day will be the advanced known sequence. The sequence combines a bit of IMAC, precision flying with some 3D manoeuvres such as torque rolling and rolling Harrier circles. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the quality is like. We were really impressed last year. Looking forward to see how it goes this year. We're set up early here at the judging line. Why are we set up early, Martin?
Because it's very windy, and if we don't sit on our chairs, the wind is blowing them back. as I shall now demonstrate.
Well, judges have a helper. We're about to do a demo flight to practice our judging, and then we're straight into it.
A little bit about judging today. So, well, everything is falling because of the wind. Today we're judging a combination of precision and 3D maneuvers. Basically, every competitor starts every maneuver with 10 points, and then we deduct points based on the precision level. Now, because it's a combination of 3D and precision aerobatics, meaning that we'll be judging loops, but then a hover, we sort of take the same criteria for both execution of both sort of styles of maneuver. So if it's windy and a competitor hover, we want him to start the hover in an equal distance upwind and then drift downwind, similar as we would like with a loop.
Martin, how's it going?
Yeah, it's fine. Now I'm not that cold anymore, but it's still not very warm. The wind is now picking up. We are doing the demo flights now, Ido and I, and it will be quite hard, but it should be fun.
Yeah, it was challenging. It's definitely windy, but otherwise alright. Yeah, it was good fun.
Jase just finished his demo flight. Everybody wants a photo with Jase. Judging the advanced freestyle now. It's blowing a gale, but the guys are doing a really good job.
Second round of the advanced freestyle to no music has just finished, and now we are waiting to have lunch. While we're waiting, there's free flying for all, so everybody's trying to get a bit of practice before the next maneuvers.
We're judging the known sequences for the Sportsman now. It's still blowing a gale, and these guys are coming out with some really small electrics, but they're doing a wonderful job. We've invented a new sport. What are we calling it?
We call it paper surfing.
Paper surfing. Give us a demonstration, Martin. Show us a bit of paper surfing.
First, it's important, especially as an Austrian, to not use your right hand. You lose your left hand.
Yeah.
You need to have the right angle, and you let it surf.
That's
You
it.
should go inverted.
You can't go inverted. Okay, thank you, Martin.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun is starting to set, and we just finished the second Sportsman known sequence maneuver. We had a lot of competitors. I think we had 17 competitors, which is a record for this event. People from the age of 11 till 65 were competing. The wind is pretty strong, and it made it for the beginners a bit of a challenge to fly, especially staying in the box and not drifting. However, they did a marvelous job, and yeah, we're happy to judge. We're gonna watch Jase, the ace, fly now, and after that we'll go for some dinner. Finished a lovely dinner, we had some pizza, we had some drinks, now we came back to the hotel. We're going to have a Q&A night. Opportunity for the competitors to get some information about what happened today, ask some questions, and hopefully get their flying improved.
Talent in this room, it was cool to see. I was fortunate enough to be able to judge one of the freestyle rounds. Saw a lot of great flying. Was really impressed. I think moving forward towards tomorrow, I guess any advice or anything I'd have to say is just, you know, continue to fly really precise, focus on what you can do well, and keep doing that. You know, I think, in my opinion, a flight that is a little more simple, but is well executed, is better than something that, you know, you try to fit a lot of maneuvers in that might not be as well executed. So maybe for tomorrow, that's all really I have to say, but other than that, just keep doing what you're doing, and most importantly, just have fun. Thank you.
More, the forecast is the same in terms of wind. We're going to have a lot of wind tomorrow. So the best tip I can give you for the precision side of things, try to keep your maneuvers centered. And basically, when you go upwind, okay, make sure that you go farther along or longer before you do your maneuver. So when you turn downwind, you're going to be drifted, okay? So it's almost when you cross the center line upwind, count 1, 2, 3. Start pulling. When you go downwind, count 1, 2, start pulling, okay? So then with the wind drift, it's in the middle.
Hello guys, I also have to say you did a very good job. The conditions were very hard. It would be hard for me or any of the other guys as well, especially for the precision aerobatics style part of the routines. And what I want to concentrate again on telling you is your straight lines in the figures and between the figures. That's very important for precision flying. So you have to start every figure with a straight line, and you have to end every figure with a straight line. You made really fast rolls, and it just makes it harder for you to stop them precisely, and it does not look that harmonic. So take your time, do the rolls slowly.
It's day 2 of the CTS competition. We've got all the gang back in the car, squashed in. We've got Orel from Sweden. How's your seatbelt going?
Windy again, this time a bit windier. There's a typhoon forecast somewhere north of here, and we're getting the wind. So it's 7:30 in the morning, and it's a bit of a gale, and it's all crosswind. So challenging conditioning ahead, but we're looking forward for a good competition. Every event needs great sponsors and a lot of support. This year is no different. The event has been supported by amazing sponsors that provided a lot of money and a lot of help to get this event up and running.
We have 5 pilots in, Martin, in the Sportsman's category for the freestyle, no music.
Yeah.
And how's it going?
There are only 2 pilots who actually got a score because 2 crashed and 2 flew behind the safety line.
That's right.
But I have to say the crashes were good crashes.
They were great crashes. We've got
fun.
chairs flying everywhere. Well, the wind's coming from behind us as we speak, right, from here. And so the planes are getting pushed over the safety line over here, and so people are getting disqualified.
Yeah.
I don't know where you can hear me because it's blowing a gale. We would not be, in Australia, we would not be flying in these conditions. So there have been people coming out with their 60-inch planes, and I tell you what, it's been difficult. Now, guess what? We've got a Sweden here. We've got Orel from Sweden. What do you think of the conditions?
Very windy today, but yeah, hope it works.
Now, if you were at home in Sweden, would you actually go flying on a day like today?
Maybe just a training, but not for fun, no.
You're crazy. He's crazy. Boys are on the move again. We've been to our toilet break, but we're back now. The Sportsman's category is over, gentlemen. Now we're off to the advanced. Wait, we've got to stop for a photo.
Yeah. Clever.
Awkward stop.
There we go. Awkward stop, but that's what we have to do in China. So we're up to the advanced sequences. Advanced freestyle to music.
Yeah.
What are we looking for, gentlemen?
It will be very interesting to watch. There are some very good pilots, and it will be interesting to see how they cope with these very difficult conditions. We hope we won't die, and yeah, that's it.
And Ido, what are we looking for?
Well, we're looking for the use of the airspace, so the more the merrier. As Martin said, looking for a bit of precision and a bit of safety as well. It's quite difficult to not cross the dead zone and cross the line with this wind. But yeah, the person that will use the airspace as best as he can, use maneuvers, wouldn't repeat the maneuver over and over, so we'll use new maneuvers and matching to music, most important. It's a dance, it's a show, we would like to enjoy it, so good music choice is critical.
Survival is the key. That's what we're looking for. Everyone needs to survive. Lost a few planes already. I'm here with the man, Jase the Ace, all the way from Michigan in the US. Jase, how are you enjoying your China?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Trip.
Yeah, it's quite the experience. Once in a lifetime thing, and we're having a lot of fun meeting some new people, trying some new food, and yeah, just a lot of fun. Looking forward to the rest of the trip.
Everybody in Australia wants to know, when are you coming to Australia?
Who knows? It'd be fun. I'd like to. Yeah, that's a nice place too.
Well, we'd love to have you. We'll look after you. I'm sure we can find a plane for you to fly.
Cool.
Now, a little tip, Jase, for the competitors in these windy conditions, what would you be focusing on?
Well, right now we've got looks like a pretty heavy crosswind, so maybe start the routine a little further out. That way you don't have to work with it the whole time. You don't have to try to keep pushing out the whole time. If you start out, then maybe it'll be a little less work. But yeah, it's pretty windy, so it'll be difficult. But they're good pilots, so I'm sure they'll do fine.
Excellent. Well, Jase, this man has been a legend. Everyone loves Jase over here. He's nice as pie kind of guy. So we love you, Jase. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Crossing the road here, going for a bit of a walk with the boys. The advanced freestyle is almost over. They're having some technical difficulties with the sound system, but they're sorting that out. We're going to be back. We've got 2 more people that got to refly, so looking forward to that. Amazing, the standard here. They're doing a really good job. I'd like to introduce you to the Chinese Mick Jagger.
Up, I'm getting tired of sleeping. Think I've had enough. I've been gone, but haven't done much healing.
I'm freezing so much.
Kinda strange how I can take a beating from my better self. It's like no one else even really scratches the surface. 'Cause nobody gets me. Looking for faith, looking for love in every direction. I'm looking for someone to show me the way when my map is torn up. Give me a light when my torch is blown out. Let me escape from my hideaway. I give up all of my little addictions, but I'm still stuck with some tough decisions, yeah. Now I'm up against the wall, and I'm looking for your attention. Wide awake and I'm just scared away for a better chance at a great romance, and I'm just not getting any braver. 'Cause nobody gets me. I'm looking for faith, looking for love in every direction. I'm looking for someone to show me the way when my map is torn up. Give me a light when my torch is blown out. Let me escape from my hideaway. I give up all of my little addictions, but I'm still stuck with some tough decisions, yeah. Now I'm up against the wall, and I'm looking for your attention.
Behind me is Orel Zohar's plane. Orel is from Israel, and he flies for Pilot RC, and this is his Pilot RC laser that he's flying. It's a beautiful plane. It's got a lot of grunt. This is running a GP123 motor. They love the GPs here in China, and it does fly very, very well. A lot of power. So it's and of course Orel is an amazing pilot. So really, he is world class. We haven't heard of him, but now we have, and I'm telling you now, he is world class.
Looking for your attention. Looking for your attention. Oh yeah. I'm looking for your attention.
The competition is over now, but we now move into a fun fly component. So before we do, I've got a bit of time to kill, so I want to show you some of the aircraft that are over here. So come with me. I'm just going to flip the camera around and we'll go and have a look. So what we can see is most aeroplanes come from 3 major brands. We've got Extreme Flight, we have Skywing, and we have Pilot RC out there, out the back. And they're probably the 3 biggest aerobatic manufacturers going around here in China at the moment. We still have some of the old 3D hobby shop planes here. We've got the 74-inch Edge. So planes range from 30cc to the 100cc size planes to 60cc size planes, and they're a combination of electric and gas power. No nitro to be seen here. Award ceremony now.
和银牌赞助商，祝我们的 CTS 越办越好。
Joining me is the second place getter here in the advanced section, Olle Lovberg, the love bug from Sweden. Well done, Olle.
Thank you.
Now, Olle, tell me,
what was your experience like here in China?
It has been very cool to be here in China, just to see the how it's been to live here, the daily life, and also meet many new pilots and people from all over the world.
Now the conditions were extremely difficult.
Yeah, it was very windy.
Yeah, very, very windy. What were you focusing on whilst flying?
Try to compensate for the wind, but it was very hard. I flew a pretty light airplane, so yeah, it was hard, but I did my best.
Yeah, Olle was flying a Skywing Laser.
Yeah.
Electric powered, about a 60cc size plane.
Yeah, dual sky.
With a dual sky motor up the front. Had plenty of power, playing for you beautifully. Yeah. Well done, Olle. It's been a pleasure spending time with you over the past few days. And keep an eye out for him, Olle Lovberg, the Love Bug.
This is extremely exciting. We're here with the first place winner of the CTS 2018 winner, Orel Zohar, all the way from Israel. He came here, won first place. Orel, what do you think about the condition?
That is a great feeling. That is the first time of me out of Israel, and it's all in any RC event. It's a great time, and I want to thank first to my father that supported me to get here, and to all my sponsors, to Tony from Pilot RC, to I just don't remember all my sponsors, but it's a great feeling, and just don't know how we can say thank you for all the people who could help me to get here.
This is great. So as you can see behind this great man and now a champion, there's a lot of support from the family to the sponsors. So well done again. You did a great job. It was great to see you fly.
Thanks.
I'm here with my good friend Frank Liu. Frank is the man that makes these trips the best ever. Now Frank, CTS this year, how do you think it went?
Yeah, I think it's quite good. We may make it better and better. And thanks a lot for 3 of my best friends come again.
Well, it's always a pleasure, Frank. You do such a good job for the Chinese aerobatic community. It's people like Frank that are helping grow the hobby here in China in a real way. Well done, Frank, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are off to the field again.
As Olle just mentioned, we're back off to the field, and today is the Extreme Flight Day. Joining me again is our new friends, Michael, the Swede, Martin, the Australian, Ido Segev at the front of the car, and Franco Leo driving once again. So that's right, we have got the whole gang back in the BMW. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us. No seatbelts, going China style.
I have a seatbelt.
I haven't.
The last person in this car that needs to have a seatbelt is Martin Brandmuller.
Just wanna know I'm not mistaken. Hey.
It's Saturday, the sun is finally out, blue sky, still very windy, not as much crosswind, but a lovely day. And today we're gonna see Jase fly at the Extreme Flight flying. A lot of airplanes here, mostly Extreme Flight. We're gonna see some great performance, so looking forward to it.
much, Jase. Thank you.
Today could be called Jase the Ace Day. Now, Jay, it's our last day here in China. What's your overall experience been like?
It's been pretty cool. Something a little different than what we're used to coming to China. This is my first time here. I didn't really know what to expect, but the people are really nice. The field's nice. Some cool scenery. There's some cool tourist things going around in the city here. We went to the cinema world over there, and that was pretty cool. So just some stuff you can't see in the United States, so it's pretty cool.
Well, we're doing what we do best here in China, that is eat. It's lunchtime at the moment. We've finished our lunch. We're here with Austria, otherwise known as Martin Brandmuller, and Ido, the man, Segev. I'll tell you what, their lunches are great here. What do we have today, Martin?
We had some chicken.
Chicken?
As always. And some vegetables.
Lots of vegetables, mushrooms and greens and you name it.
And rice, of course.
Yeah.
Yogurt.
And yogurt as well. So we've been enjoying it. We've got Jase the Ace over here. You know, the price of fame. It's really the price of fame. Everybody wants to talk to him. They're talking flying, whilst we're just, what are we talking about?
Paramotors.
Paramotors. RC paramotors.
Yeah, that's
No,
what.
it's the next big thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
get on board. What I don't understand is why aren't people coming up to us to ask us any questions?
Yeah.
What have we done wrong?
I don't know. We are not Jase the Ace.
Look at us. There's nobody around us.
Yeah.
And look over there. Like, there's all these people over there that want to speak to Jase. I don't know. We need to work on this maybe for the future, Martin. We need to work on our popularity. If they turned it into an eating competition, we probably win. Ido reckons I already won. Oh well. I'm here with Chris Hinson, owner of Extreme Flight. Chris, what are your thoughts of the day?
Very successful day. Good attendance. Great day of flying. You know, the winds died down. Beautiful sunshine. Warm day. Good day overall.
True, and Jase was amazing today. He really put a great shine for everybody. Did a bunch of flights. Everyone was absolutely spot on. His last one was just absolutely crazy.
Best one of the day.
So
for sure.
hopefully we can share some of that video with you to just show you how great the guy is. So thanks, Chris, for joining us here in China. And
enjoyed it. Looking forward to CTS 2019.
yeah, thanks for sponsoring the event.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Now, everybody wants to know one very important question. Are you thinking about getting a radio-controlled paramotor?
Maybe. I like to watch the full-scale paramotors fly, so that'd be cool.
See, I'm starting a movement here. Jase the Ace, future RC paramotor pilot.
Yeah.
Jase Dussia is joining me, the proud mum of Jase the Ace Dussia. Now, Casey, you're a very supportive parent. What are your tips for other parents that have children that are really interested in the hobby and have a strong passion for it?
Well, Andrew, as you know, we are very supportive. We personally love the model aviation community, and so that's one reason that we are so supportive, because we really believe in it. But one thing that we've always made very certain is that we keep Jase grounded. Model aviation, flying RC, that is only one aspect to the unique person that he is. And so we try to instill in him the importance of ethics and values and faith and family, and then your hobbies and your interests and your passions come after that. So my recommendation would be to allow your children to be themselves, to be unique, and to help them understand that you can be wonderful at anything that you want to be, but your character and your personality and how you treat people come first.
Casey, both you and John have done a wonderful job with Jase. He's a true gentleman. Not only can he fly, but he's a wonderful person. So congratulations and well done.
Thank
and
you.
It's lovely
Thank
meeting
you,
the whole
Andrew.
family and having you all here in China.
It's been lovely meeting you, and China has graciously hosted us. We can only hope that we get an opportunity to come back and see everyone again.
Andrew Sill here, just been signing t-shirts and caps, and Jase Dussia, she thinks he's pretty good as well, but she's only getting photographs. I'm signing caps.
True. I've signed one. I was asked for my autograph once,
Only?
and I wasn't even quite sure how to do it, but I ended it in a smiley face, so
That counts.
that's right.
I think I've ruined 5 t-shirts and about 2 caps at this stage, so things are going well here as we close up the flying for the day.
This is going to blow you away, because I'm very unique
Well,
in how I end it, always with a smiley face.
sun is coming down here, and I'm with the champions from Israel, Ido Segev and Orel Zohar.
Don't mess with the Zohar.
Don't mess with him. Orel is the champ of CTS, aren't you?
Yeah.
In the advanced section. Orel, to sum up your visit to China, what's it been like?
That was a nice trip. My first time in China was very fun. I had a great time with the new people, and especially with you. And to meet Ido. That was a nice trip. My first time in China was very fun. I had a great time with the new people, and especially with you. And to meet Ido.
That's right. Well, the great man, tell us what's your experience been like again at CTS. You've been a number of times.
It's been good. It's been good. It's been better and better every year, and this year is no exception. It was nice to have Jase. It was nice to have Martin again. We had a couple of more international competitors like Orel and Olle. The comp were really good. The conditions were difficult. Probably the hardest condition we ever had since 2014. So pretty tricky, but the competitors did well. We're very proud to be here. We're very honored to judge and be part of the progression of the Chinese culture in flying. So yeah, good stuff.
Well, Ido is exactly right. It was an awesome experience. They really have gone all out this year. The amount of investment they make into this event is great, and the Chinese people come out in force, and they're getting better and better. And it's also good to see people like Orel and Olle from Sweden come and join this event. It's just going to get bigger and bigger, and will be a dominant contest in the aerobatic scene around the world. So thank you, gentlemen. As always, Ido, it's been great. Orel, congratulations. What an awesome event you've had. This guy can fly. I tell you what, go and check him out. You're on YouTube?
Yep, YouTube,
yeah,
Facebook.
Go and have a look at YouTube, Facebook, Orel Zohar. You will find him. Check him out.
Everything's fine. Wouldn't expect any more from.
What a lovely way to finish a great event. We're in a restaurant in Sojo Plaza with great friends, some old, some new. Great event, a nice way to finish it off.
Trying to appreciate.
How tired are we?
Very tired and emotional a bit.
Well, we just, met new friends.
Yeah.
We're now back at the hotel.
Had to say goodbye.
Had to say goodbye to the Dussia family, Chris Hinson, Frank Liu, Bear from the Extreme Flight Factory. So we've had a great time. And we have, what time are we getting up tomorrow?
We 5 o'clock in the morning for 5:30 departure. We're going to then take Martin to the airport, and from there Orville Shang from Sky going to take us for a factory tour.
Bit of a trip around Shanghai tomorrow, so we are wrecked and we're going to bed. So good night, see you tomorrow.
And I wait, wanting to come a day.
At the Shanghai Pudong airport, dropping off Martin and before he catches his plane back to Austria. Can you tell we're really tired? What time did we get up this morning, Ido?
5 o'clock?
Yeah, I set my alarm at 4:45. So we've got a day here in Shanghai before flying out tonight. So we're going to leave Martin now, say farewell, and continue with our day. We've just said bye to Martin. He's off to Austria. And where are we off to now, Mr. Segev?
We're off to the Dual Sky factory. Have a look how they make electric motors, brushless servos and batteries.
Yep, that's what we're going to do.
our pleasure today to visit the Dual Sky factory, and joining us is owner Orel Zohar, and he's going to take us for a bit of a tour of his operation here. The process for manufacturing the Dual Sky motors starts in the warehouse. So Orel buys a lot of parts in and then checks them. Now, Orel, you were telling me earlier that you buy some parts, but you also make your own. Why do you buy some of the parts in?
You know, in China, some factory make the CNC part, for example, by themselves. But I buy the CNC part from other country, which is near the Dual Sky, not so far. Why we buy from outside? Because if we find some mistake, we can return it. If we made by ourselves, sometimes it's hard to maybe we use it. Yes.
So it's really it's a quality decision that Orel wants to have the best quality product. So he works with other manufacturers that are quality manufacturers, and as he said, if they send you a bad product, he can send it back. His first step of the process is to actually check the quality of every component before he starts the assembly. So after Orel's team have checked the quality of the components, they start building the stator. Now, all the electronics are done in-house here at Dual Sky. So this machine here, it costs about $10,000 to have one of these machines, and Orel's got two winding machines, just two winding machines.
Two.
So the way the winding machine works is over here it controls the number of windings, and the number of windings will depend on the type of motor. Then over here is the actual winding mechanism. The wire thickness will change also depending on the motor. It's a sort of semi-manual process. The winding part is done automatically, but the worker has to sit here and change the rotor, is it? The stator rotor. And the modules here on the machines will also be changed depending on the type of motor. Orel was showing me the two different types of wire that he uses in the manufacturing process. So I've got one here on my left, and this one over here. Now the difference between the two, you can probably see that the colour is slightly different, and what that indicates is that the enamelling, the insulation is slightly different. Now with this one over here, it's the insulation is not as resistant to high temperature as much as this one over here. This is more of a high temperature wire. The difference is that with the insulation coating here, not even a soldering iron or solder will stick to that insulation, so there is another process to remove some of the insulation, which adds a little bit more cost, but the quality of this wire is really, really good. This wire over here, quality is still high, but you can solder directly. So where are these wires used? Well, these are more for the entry-level products, still high quality, good reliability, but for the higher range, for the higher output motors, the bigger size motors that we see in a lot of the large-scale aircraft, the GA series, and what was the other series you said? EA series, are using this high temperature insulation coating, and what that means is a better product for you. So once the stator has been wound, it goes into a testing process. But before that, as we mentioned with the wire, especially this high temperature wire, you have to remove the insulation. So you can see one here where the insulation has been removed. Because the next step is to come over to the soldering station here and solder all these wires together. Now once the soldering process is complete, remember we're looking at quality here at Dual Sky, there is a thorough testing process. It's a very simple machine, but one that works to very high tolerances. So we check each phase of the motor. So there are 3 phases to the motor, and Orel's team will check all the phases, and they must be exactly the same, correct?
Check each 2 phases.
Each 2 phases. So if the phase is not correct, then what happens, Orel?
Disassemble the wire.
Okay, so disassemble the wire, and when we mean disassemble the wire, they pull all the wire off and they start again to make sure that it's right. Orel was just telling me about this actual design here of the stator of the Dual Sky motors, and he was telling me that they do get another manufacturer to manufacture this outside, what did you call it? What's this called?
Lamination.
The lamination. Anyway, and they make it to Orel's specification. But the materials, you were saying this material here is from Japan?
Yes, high quality.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the machine work is amazing. This is really quality.
Steel.
Sorry?
Silicon steel.
Silicon
Steel.
Silicon steel.
Silicon steel.
Silicon steel from Japan. So Orel is trying to source the best quality products that he can get. Once the team know that everything is working and the resistance is great across all the 3 different phases, we move to the heat shrinking step, the wires that we see coming out of the motors. And so over here, Orel's team will grab the various different size heat shrink materials and have a machine behind me over here that will cut to the right length.
Yes.
So cut to the right length, and then they slip them over the wires, ready for heat shrinking and soldering. Heat shrink is now on, and we move to the bullet connectors that are put onto the Eco range of motors. So when you buy the Eco range of Dual Sky motors, they come already with the bullets attached. So this is where they're done at this station over here, and a whole batch are done at one time. Now, if you're buying the GA series motor, the high-end big power motors, then they do not come with the bullet connectors, but what they do is solder on some silicon wire ready for you to put your bullet connectors on at the end. So down the middle of the room is an assembly area where they have 4 workers assembling the motors, and what they're doing first off is grabbing the stator that they've tested and wound, etc., and connecting it to the front housing. And the way they connect it is simply by using a high strength epoxy glue and gluing the stator to the housing. Now, to set the glue, this whole assembly is put into an oven which is behind me that is heated to 60 degrees. This whole unit will be left in there for 1 hour before final assembly. These are the ovens that are used to cure that epoxy, 60 degrees for 1 hour. Then once they're finished, we asked Orel if they ever cook any bread or any pizza in here because it looks perfect for this job. So that we can identify each motor, the team here at Dual Sky laser etch the name of the product, the KVs and the serial number on that front housing, making it really easy for us to make sure that we've got the right product in the right aircraft. So we've finished assembling the stator, and now we're going into the other side of the motor, which is the rotor. And that starts with laser etching the brand, the model number onto the case on the outside, and then we move along here. Now down this row is this assembly of the rotor section. And what we're doing over here is, you can see in this motor here that we have this back end cap here, and we've got this case. And we've also got the shaft for the propeller, the motor shaft there. So these components are press fit together. They're very, very, very tight fit. So they use a machine here to press fit. But not only that, they're using that same kind of epoxy, that really super strong epoxy, to epoxy this on as well to make sure that it's a nice solid fit. Then we keep on moving down here. Once they've press fit the whole assembly, they check for roundness using this machine here. If the case is not round, then it's discarded. Only the best will get through. So then we keep on moving on here, another machine for press fitting. And over here we have a machine that puts in the magnets. The magnets are inside the case here, are very, very vital to the motor. They are also epoxied in, using that same epoxy. Now that epoxy can make a bit of a mess, so we want everything to be clean. So the last step in this process is to clean the excess glue off everything. And then guess where it ends up? Back in the oven. Orel was explaining to us the difference in magnets. Not all magnets are the same, and not all quality of magnets are the same. Now, of course, Dual Sky are looking for the best quality magnets because they produce a better end result. Now, there are 2 types of magnets that they're using here. One is actually a curved magnet, and one is a straight magnet. Now, the curved magnets are generally used in the higher output motors, the higher end motors. They provide more torque, more power, and the efficiency is not too bad with them either. With these ones, they are using straight magnets. They provide really excellent efficiency, but may not produce the same amount of power. But no matter which choice they make, the best quality magnets are being used. Now, anyone involved in electronics knows that heat is the killer of components. Now, Orel was telling me that the magnets that they use can withstand 150 degrees and upwards of that, whereas the industry standard is generally around 80 degrees. Now what that means is that when you buy a dual sky motor, you're going to have a motor that is built with quality components so that it can last and it can perform throughout its life. Our rotor now has the magnets applied, epoxied in place. It's been in the oven at 60 degrees for 1 hour to let that epoxy to set, and now we move into another testing phase. Over here we have 2 machines that are used for checking the balance of the rotor, which is critical in an electric motor, especially in our model aircraft. So what they do is they grab this motor. This one here is used for larger size motors and this one over here for smaller size. They attach the rotor to the test rig. The rotor is spun up to 4,000 revs per minute, and sensors are sensing any vibration in that housing. The operator can see if the rotor is out of balance, and then what they can do is apply some epoxy to get that rotor back into balance. Now what they do here at Dual Sky is a little bit different to a lot of other motor manufacturers. When they balance the motor, they're balancing both the front end and the rear end of the rotor, which is critical to get the ultimate in balance. So what they do is they'll apply that additional epoxy, if required, to both ends of the rotor housing, and it's just a special epoxy is used to do that, the similar epoxy that's used to glue everything together. We're now at the final assembly stage. This is where we grab our stator and our rotor and we connect them all together. And we do a bit more than that as well. We're adding our prop hubs, we're adding stoppers on the end of the motor as required. We're also doing one very, very, very vital step, and that is getting this gap right between that stopper and the housing itself, that we don't want any slop, any play. So the way they manage that is by using these little tiny washers, and there's various different thicknesses of washers that the workers will use to set that gap perfectly, so it's a nice precise fit. Now there's one other thing I want to mention whilst we're here, is this is where they will put in the bearings, and the bearings that Dual Sky are using are high quality bearings. They come from Japan, with some sourced locally from a high quality manufacturer not far from Shanghai, where we are at the moment. So only the best components are going in there. So that gap is essential. Selecting the right washer is a must. We have a finished motor, but we're not totally done yet, because we go through another testing phase, and this is a really, really critical phase, probably one of the most important of all of the testing phases. So what we're doing here is we're checking a couple of things. We've got a test rig set up here with an ESC, Dual Sky ESC being used, and we just power up that motor, and we're checking the kV value first. We're making sure that the kV of the motor is exactly according to the specifications. Then what we're also checking is the idle current. Now the idle current that they're looking for is 10 volts across all the motors. If both of those figures match up with the specification of the motor, all things are good. If not, well, it goes back to the final assembly team to try to work out what the problem is and to rectify it. If it can't pass the test, then it's going to be scrapped. Experienced technicians are used here at this phase, because not only are they using meters to check the idle voltage and the kV rating, they are also running that motor up, and they're listening to the motor to make sure that everything is running smoothly, and then watching that motor to make sure that it's nice and smooth as well. So you have to have a good ear and a good eye to make sure that this motor is up to Dual Sky quality. Our finished motor needs one more thing. It needs its packaging, and Dual Sky really have probably the highest quality that we've seen out there in the marketplace when it comes to packaging. So Orel's paying a lot of attention to that. So the packaging is not only looks great, there's a lot of foam packaging in there, and all the accessories are included. So you get your motor mount, you get the propeller hub, you get all the screws that are required to get this motor into your aeroplane. So behind me is the Dual Sky warehouse. That's where all the finished products will end up. Now, come for a walk with me, because I just want to show you a few things here. Dual Sky have a massive range of products here. Small drone motors for racing drones, gimbal motors, large scale 60cc, 40cc, 30cc size motors, and everything in between. So a massive range, but there's a lot of other things. There's tuning combos there. There's over here we have little drone motors. Further down here I saw some other things. We have regulators, for regulating voltage. Is another thing they do over here. Keep on following me down here. Now this is something I want to show you, is Dual Sky's range of servos. Now, Dual Sky are using their own brushless motors in these servos, and they're assembling these servos, and now available around the world. High quality motors in these servos. What you'd expect coming from Dual Sky. One great thing that Dual Sky does is they manufacture their own ESCs for their motors. So anything from the tiny little 6 ampere up to 120, 130 amp ESC that can peak up to 150 amp for those larger applications. I've got an 80 ampere in my hands here, and of course a tiny little 6 ampere. Now the good thing about these ESCs, they're designed in-house to match the Dual Sky motors. So if you're buying a Dual Sky motor, it probably makes sense to buy the corresponding ESC. Got a couple of regulators here that Dual Sky manufacture. On my left hand here, we've got a regulator that's been out for a while and is perfect for sort of smaller applications and great for regulating voltage for, say 30cc if you want to go down that path. But on my right hand here, we have a relatively new product for Dual Sky, which is a larger regulation unit used for larger scale aircraft, such as a 60cc, 100cc model plane or jets as well. Now the advantage of this little unit here is it's really, really simple to use. You can regulate to 7.4 volt, 6.6 volt or 6 volt just by flicking a switch on the side here. You can have 2 batteries, so it manages battery redundancy, which is what we recommend for larger scale applications. It has 18 channels. So you can do servo matching, etc., through your radios for up to 18 channels right away. This unit is compatible with the Futaba S-Bus system, but it is also available for Spectrum and also Jetty. Now, another great feature of this new regulation unit is this awesome switch that the team have designed here. It's an electronic switch that fails to the on position if it does fail. But it's such a slim line. It's got a beautiful feel to it. You can turn both your batteries on through this switch and it would look awesome on the side of your aircraft. So can't wait to put one of these in one of my planes. Orel founded the Dual Sky business 15 years ago. Now, Orel, tell us a bit about why you started Dual Sky.
Oh, because I love to fly. Around 15 years before, I flew the Nitro.
Yeah.
And some new electric power system is.
They came around.
Yes. So I flew the electric, and I love electric.
Yeah.
So I think I can do. I thought I can do some product with the electric system, power system.
Yeah, so Orel's a bit of an electronics whiz, so hence being able to produce the Dual Sky products. Now, I've seen Orel fly, and he is an amazing pilot. What are you flying now?
Now I flying the F3P, and the Jet, and the 3D Freestyle.
Yeah. So he's covering a lot of bases. I've seen some video of him flying his indoor planes, amazing. Saw him out at the field flying a plane yesterday. And also, sport jet. Are you one of the champions now in China for sports jets?
Yes, third place.
Third place in sports jets.
Yes.
So he's doing a lot here. And not only that, he's also the local Extreme Flight and Seba dealer in China.
Yes.
So Orel is a very, very busy man. Orel, we've seen the quality processes that you go through to build your products. Obviously, you've got a lot of designers that work with you.
Yes.
So, and with that design process, are you very involved in working out what to manufacture?
Yes. In fact, in Dual Sky, I am the product manager.
Yeah.
And we build the product reliable and looks nice.
Yeah.
And it match the application well.
Yeah.
For example, our new product Gym now.
Yeah.
It's redundant power supply for the jet and the gasoline engine.
Yeah. So that Gemini, the new Gemini power distribution board is just it shows you put a lot of thought into making something that is so simple yet so practical, and the quality looks excellent once again.
Yeah.
Now tell me a bit about the workers that you have here. What do you look for in the workers? How old are your workers and how experienced are they?
Most of our workers are young guy.
Yep.
Yeah, they have had the well training, and we teach them to know each point very well, and some of them are also fly RC models.
Yeah.
So they know the quality control point very well.
We've met some of Orel's workers, and they are a fine bunch of guys that love the hobby, and so that helps. And Orel was telling me how they train all the workers along the process, and they can't progress to the next level unless they really have mastered that one level, and the aim is that they fully understand the whole process. And as you can imagine, there's so many different products to manufacture, they really need to know how to work well. How many workers do you have here at Jewel Sky?
30. 30 workers here. Actually, it's around 50 for assembly, final assembly, and the product line, and 10 more workers for business.
Okay, so 10 workers for business and the rest on the manufacturing line. How many days do you manufacture? What is the working week? Is it 5 days a week or 6 days a week here in China?
Normally it's 5 days.
Yeah, and they start work at what time and finish?
The work starts 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And stop
Yeah, they finish at.
It's finished at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock
PM.
And they have 1 hour a lunch break as well. Beautiful offices here, nice and air conditioned, extremely clean. It's actually a very nice place to work, and keeping that environment clean is very important in an electronics business. So you're doing a very, very good job. Do the workers like working here at Jewel Sky?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because the Jewel Sky has very good reputation in the market.
Yeah.
So people know that.
And are you happy with the business?
Yes, sure. I love RC. I fly RC model firstly, then I build the Jewel Sky. So I love it and enjoy it.
Yeah, well, it's always great. A lot of people don't understand that here in China, a lot of the people that create businesses for the hobby absolutely have a very, very strong passion. This man, we've seen where he lives, we've seen his aircraft, and he's one of the most dedicated aero modelers you will find anywhere in the world. Now, Jewel Sky is a global brand now. You're selling all around the world. You're in America, you're in Europe, of course in Australia, basically everywhere you can build a business. So here in Shanghai, this man here is leading the way across the world with quality electronic components for our hobby. So thank you, Orel, very much. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And it's great to be here in your company. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yep. Been a good one.
We're at the airport at gate 208 waiting for flight MU 737 back directly to Melbourne. What an event, what a trip. We had a good time here in China. Ido, what's the highlight of the trip for you?
Well, probably the judging day on the second day. How windy it was and how well the competitors dealt with it. Just another sign of the great improvement they had since last year, you know?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the conditions were, none of us would go flying in those kind of conditions, but that wasn't going to stop the event from happening.
Yeah.
So that's a massive highlight too for me, is seeing the competitors brave the windy conditions and doing so well.
Yeah.
Also meeting some new friends, the Dussia family, Chris from Extreme Flight, amazing times we had, a lot of laughs, so that was always good. And I always say that's part of the hobby and the passion of the hobby. Absolutely. And the part of life on high rates. It's not just about flicking to high rates and going crazy with the aeroplane and doing some 3D freestyle aerobatic moves. It's living on high rates all the time, even when you're out at dinner, having a drink, having a laugh, whatever it is, do it at high rates. It's just more fun, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So from Ido and I, here at Pudong Airport in Shanghai, we bid you farewell. Thanks for joining us on this journey. I hope to do it again next year. Fingers crossed. So we'll see you on the other side.